Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the show. And welcome to a scuffed Sunday stream where once again my camera isn't working. There it is. There it is. Good to see you. Glad to have you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is, whatever day it is. I hope that the weekend is treating you well. And thanks for joining me out here on a Sunday stream. Once again, let me tell you, chat, the week has been a long and arduous week. And I'm glad to have it over with. Glad to be here with you guys. Glad to see all of y'all coming out here to join me as well for some hot mech on mech action in the inner sphere as we continue the BTA campaign. Again, as promised, Hubris Recovery Arc 1 begins today. So for those of you that were not here during the last stream, I decided, hey, we've been doing pretty good so far. We need to get off of these guys, and we need to start doing some tougher missions, and we need to stop doing all these half-skill missions. And hey, would you look at that? Hubris came out of nowhere with the DDT. Fucking just, yeah. And I had that coming. We do this every time I play, well, any game really, but Battletech games especially. You guys know. I get a little full of myself. I get a little too full of my own piss and vinegar, and the next thing you know, people get blown up, mechs get blown up. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And Lord Renzus says, what's the song that starts the stream off? The one with the brass and electric guitar. Lord Renzus, this is kind of a running joke. I know what it is. There are a lot of folks here that know what it is as well. I intentionally don't tell people what it is because it's part of both my nerd cred and my degenerate cred. Once you find out what the song is from, then you will understand what I mean when I say that. But it's sort of a game. I have asked people to never tell anybody what the song is or where it's from, because I want you to have to go find it. Because I want you to have that moment of realization when you find it, that when I talk about being a degenerate, and when I talk about being a nerd, you will then understand. You will come full circle. Not like that, get your head out of the gutter. But you will come full circle and understand what I meant when I said that I was also a degenerate. So give that a shot. Feel free to go look it up. I won't stop you. Scarlet Fame says, I bet the game has waifus in it. I mean, to be fair, most of the games that I play have waifus in them. Just throwing that out there. I mean, I'm pretty predictable that way. If it's got waifus and or booba in it, I'm there. I'm like 100%. I am absolutely 100% there for it. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a cheap date, all right? All you gotta do is take your shirt off, and I'm happy. Boom, we're good. Wait, what? Anyway, Chad, let me. Good lord, I get it. So number one, for those of you that were curious, some of the music aren't mechs made to blow up. No, actually, kind of the opposite. Dragon 9, most of the time the mech is meant to not blow up. Or at least that's the intent. I mean, I don't think anybody builds a mech thinking to themselves, I can't wait for this to explode. Unless you work for Quicksell, in which case it's debatable. But most mech manufacturers do not build their mechs with the intention of having them blow up. But with that being said, chat, for those of you that were paying attention during the intro, I was playing some Dawn of War music. For those that don't know, obviously the definitive edition, the remastered edition of Dawn of War came out this week, just a few days ago, as a matter of fact. And it is now available on Steam, on GOG, wherever your favorite game buy-in place is. you can pick up the Dawn of War Definitive Edition. And I know on Steam, at least, I can't speak for other platforms, but I know for Steam, if you already own Dawn of War, you can get it at, I think it's a 25 or a 30% discount. So it retails for $30 base. So $30 for the base game. And to be fair, the Definitive Edition comes with all the expansions. It's not just Dawn of War, it's also Winter Assault and Soulstorm. So you get the complete package if you pay for it. It's $30 base MRP. I can words. Chat, I promise I can words. It's $30 base MSRP. If you already own Dawn of War, you can get it for $20. So it's basically an upgrade. With that being said, they are also doing a sale on Steam right now, which I think is like 10% off or something like that. So if you own Dawn of War already, and you want to go buy the remastered edition, you can pick it up for a bargain basement price of $18 US right now, as long as you grab it while the sale is still going on. So if that hasn't sold you on Dawn of War Definitive Edition, I don't know what will. If you have not played the game, definitely check it out. It's from the classic era of Relic RTS games back when... I think Dawn of War is the game that they made right after Company of Heroes, or right before Company of Heroes. I don't remember which came first, but if you remember Company of Heroes, it's the same company, it's Relic Entertainment. They know what they're doing. More importantly, Relic Entertainment also gave us the Homeworld franchise originally. So just jot that down. Definitely, they knew what they were doing with RTS games back in those days. That was also the heyday of RTS games when they were still big money. So definitely check them out. Definitely check them out. With that being said, chat, as far as the news, as far as me is concerned, let's see. I missed some stuff here. Hold on, let me see. BZ Archer says, I'm also a simple girl. You show me a cute girl, a nice pair of boobs. I'm happy. I agree. I agree. It's the simple things in life. You know, you have to be willing to just slow down a little bit and just enjoy the simple things in life. Remember when Relic wasn't ass? Yeah, I do remember when Relic was an ass. But that was before they got bought up by THQ as well. So, I mean, to be fair, they did some cool stuff under THQ, but then THQ started to fail. Yeah. And then all of the companies that worked for THQ also started to suffer as a direct result of that. So it was a knock-on effect. Do you like boy booba too? I mean, if you're talking about like man boobs, it depends on the man. I can definitely go for, if you're talking about like the pectoral booba, like where the man has just got so much chest that like it looks like boobs, I actually think that's hilarious. Don't get me wrong, I'm not necessarily making fun of people that actually put in the work to get like a musculature like that. But at the same time, I think it's funny that you can work so hard on your pecs as a man that you end up needing to wear a sports bra. That to me is fucking hilarious. But anyway, I can appreciate the male form as well. Both the dad bod and of course the Spartacus, the Greek god, the bronze statue over Alexandria Harbor. You know, I appreciate most body types in one way or another. Who needs gem when cake is better? I mean, that's like the sign out at El Arroyo. For those of you that don't know, El Arroyo is a restaurant in the Central Texas area. And it's a Mexican food restaurant. And they have become kind of infamous online for like the sign that they put out in front of their restaurant. And you've probably seen their stuff on the internet. And one of them was something along the lines of, yeah, being ripped is great, but have you tried tacos? And I 100% agree with that sentiment. Trust me, I work out. I take care of myself. I try to stay in shape. But man, tacos though. Tacos are really good. If you never had a taco. No, not that kind of taco, chat. Get your head out of the gutter. So here we are, back in the Argo. Back in the Inner Sphere. And let me get the game sound turned on before I forget about it. And as you can clearly see in the upper left-hand corner, we are projected to hit bankruptcy before the end of the month. Now, we are currently in the middle of helping the Taurian Concordant in a flare-up. However, after the last mission, things went a little south. So, in order to recoup our losses, we're going to have to work a little harder. Now, in that vein, I have already put the urban mechs back into production. We've got fire ants being refitted. Well, technically this is a flea, but we called it the fire ant because flamers. We're putting the commando back together. We're having to bring out all the stuff. We're having to bring out all of our mechs. Now, to be fair, the reason that we ended up in this situation is because the game kind of screwed us at the end of last stream. It was a one-skull mission, but they threw 2 full lances, of which there were 3 heavy mechs on the field. And we were fielding nothing but vehicles and light mechs, aside from the awesome, which then got blown up. So, what I should have done, as soon as I saw that they had an Orion and a Rakshasa, and, like, I should have just retreated. We should have just left. But I'm an idiot, and I decided I was going to fight it out, because I thought to myself, man, what if we get that salvage, though? And things went south. Things went pear-shaped. So, we're going to need to recover from that. Now, we do have some stuff in the hole. As you can see, wasn't one of them a Night Star? Negative. At least not that I'm aware. Not that I'm aware. But we're very, very close to making budget. So I could, if I had to, sell a few items just to get us over the line. But we've still got missions coming up. Unfortunately, we're going to have a notification for a mission in 3 days, which means none of these mechs are going to be ready. And with that being said, I could probably rearrange our work queue to get some of these mechs ready in a few more days. Let's have a look at the mech bay, though, and see what the Lance is looking like. Obviously, the Awesome is kind of screwed. We have 5 mechs that we can currently field, and 4 more that we're trying to put back together. In addition, we have our battle armor, and we also have our 2 APCs. Unfortunately, we only have 1 dedicated vehicle driver, so potentially we're only going to be able to field 1 of these APCs. With that being said, let's have a look at how we can potentially rearrange. I mean, we could put the Urbies up top. Not that I would prefer to run the urban mechs, but we can at least get the Urbies ready. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to get them fully refitted before the next mission pops. It's a miracle the APC didn't die, considering it got exploded. I mean, again, that particular APC is extremely tanky. Extremely tanky. Go to me in the queue, I need a laugh. Let me see. Yeah, 70 days. Wasteland got shit on last time, because Wasteland is our dedicated vehicle pilot. They were the one in the APC, and it got blown the fuck up. So yeah, Wasteland is going to be out for a little while. Do mech techs like myself get compensation for all the eye exams we need? Do the goddamn paint scheme. Negative. That's not... Sorry, not service related. Unfortunately. Not service related. Anyway, we're gonna get the urban mechs put back together. I don't know if we'll be able to get them refitted in time for the next mission, but let's just do...
We're almost completely out of cash.
Yeah, no, thank you, Darius. I'm aware. Maybe if you didn't send us into missions against fucking heavy mechs, we wouldn't be so short on money, you jackass. Motherfucker out here acting like it's not his goddamn fault that we got our ass handed to us. Alright, so, we need to get these Urbies put back together, so I'm gonna throw in the 60 cores that we still have laying around. And I think, if I recall, my original idea was to put mortars in these guys again. just so that we'll have a little bit of indirect fire. So, internals, we need some heat sinks, like always. Because Urbies have to have 10 heat sinks, but they've only got 2 internals. Alright, so that's going to give us the Mortar 8, as well as... Well, I mean, maybe we should just max armor. These guys are probably going to be taking indirect fire, so better... There we go. Better to have them as heavily armored as possible. Wish I had Darius's job, get paid to give the most vague intel. I mean, it's not even intel, bud. Like, he's just like, there's some enemies out there. Go get them, Commander. And apparently I'm paying him a living wage for that. I'll just say it. Seems a bit a week of missions going south. Watch NextCom 2 stream get wiped by a Legate. These things happen. These things happen. Wonder if bad intel is a thing they added to screw with people, or if they bounce it around. You always find fielding multiple mixed lances now. I think it's a little bit of both. Because they know that the player has the ability to field a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, I don't think, like... And I'm not speaking from experience. I haven't looked at how BTA actually handles balance and enemy spawning. But I feel like the enemies that spawn on a map is based within a range. In other words, say it's a one skull mission. There's a range of stuff that could potentially appear in that mission. Or, I guess to put it in tabletop terms, there's a battle value that's assigned to that mission. And then the game is allowed to skew it however it wants. Now, whether that's giving you a bunch of really crappy light mechs to fight against, or giving you a couple of lances, but some of them are heavy mechs. Like, sometimes you get the really easy stuff, sometimes you get the really hard stuff. It adds variation because you never know what you're going to be up against. And so you end up in a situation like we did last stream, where we end up against multiple heavy mechs with a lance almost entirely made out of light mechs. And it feels like it's not fair. But then look back at how many missions we've done where it was one skull or a half skull, and it was like 3 mechs and they were all heavily damaged. Like, at the end of the day, we get both halves of that equation. So in this case, we just happen to get screwed. Most of the time, we've been doing the screw, but this time we got screwed. Life's a bitch and then you die. That's just how it works. Anyway, chat, we gotta figure out a way to put these Urbies together. Now, already, the Urbies are not gonna be ready, because we're gonna, in 7 days, yeah, it's no good. It's no good. Is it because of the core? It's probably, no, it's not because of the core. It's mostly because of the mortar. Okay, fair enough. Wait, what? Okay, wait, what? Hold up. Oh, there we go. I was looking at artillery, not at mortars. But let's see. We can do the mortar. If we're gonna go with ammo, we want to have 2 of these guys. So let's see. Obviously we want acid rounds because acid is super good. I'll put in a half bin of acid rounds. Let me see. How many rounds? 20 rounds of ammunition. So that's a couple of full volleys. No big deal there. In fact, I'll tell you what. Hold on a second. Nah, we don't have enough. What I was gonna do, chat, is I was gonna say, okay, let's do 2 sets of mortar 4s, so that way we can kind of spread it out. That's what she said. But to just kind of like, if we wanted to fire more than one type of ammunition in a single turn, we could do that. But unfortunately, we don't have the weapon systems to make that possible. At least not for bow. So maybe what we do instead is we'll go mortar 8 here. But then for the ammo on this guy, I'll do Inferno ammo, 1 ton. How much is that gonna give us? 40 rounds of ammunition. Okay, that's pretty good. And Sierra rolling in the chat on a Sunday. Good to see you, Sierra. Thanks for joining us. gifting 5 subs to the community almost immediately, right out the gate. And then Volfina answering back, gifting a sub to Arcos Ren. Thank you, Sierra, for the massive generosity and the massive chicken. And of course, Volfina, thank you as well for gifting a sub to Arcos Ren. And Arcos, welcome back into the cult of bad tactical decisions. Good to see you guys, as always. Appreciate you, and thank you for the gifted subs. But let's see. We'll go with one ton of Inferno ammo. Wait, oh right, because I gotta put the core in. Hold on. Internals. Give me the 60. There we go. Alright, so we got 1 ton of Inferno ammo. I guess we could do 1 ton of guided ammo. And then 1 ton of regular ammo. So we're basically putting 3 tons of ammo in this thing. Bot's borked. Uh-oh. Is it, or have you just done it recently? Hold on a second. Let me see. Let me go check Nightbot and make sure there's not an issue. There might be a problem. Any safety jump jets? I mean, we might be able to put jump jets in it, considering we have some free tonnage. Hold on, chat. I'm trying to log into Nightbot here, so I can figure out why it's not working. Yes, thank you. Is Nightbot part of the chat? It is. It's listed as a moderator. All the commands are there. All right, let me try this. Yeah, that's very odd. I'm not sure why, but Nightbot is not working. That's very strange. Let's try this. Dashboard. Hold on, chat. We're troubleshooting. We're troubleshooting. I might... Yeah, we might have a little bit of a problem. I mean, Nightbot is not that big a deal. It's not like it's gonna be the end of the stream. I'm just trying to figure out why it's not necessarily working. I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this right now, chat. Probably when I do the BRB, I'll see if I can fix it. Does the Nightbot speak to you? Yes, it does, occasionally. For right now, I'll let Ersts be Nightbot. But I'm not gonna make you guys sit here and wait for me to do that. We're over an hour into the stream and we literally haven't blown anything up yet. And I know what you guys are here for. You're here for Booba and Stompy Robots, and you're only getting 1/2 of that equation right now, so we gotta remedy that. But when we do the BRB, I will attempt to get Nightbot working again. But anyway, chat, we've got 2.5 tons to play with. I mean, we could throw in some Frank's Red Hot, we could throw in some jump jets. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, we've only got enough room for 2 jump jets in an urban mech, so it's not like it's a huge deal. We still got 1.5 tons to play with, so maybe we go with... I mean, if we used a medium pulse laser, that's 2 tons of space. So maybe we just go medium laser and then small laser. It's kind of a basic bitch setup, but again, I don't expect these Urbies to be in service for a whole lot of time. They're mostly just filling a gap. That's what she said. Is there no FCS? No nothing? I'm not putting an FCS in a fucking urban mech. Like, to me, it doesn't matter if we have an FCS because I'm not putting one in an Urbie. An urban, look, the urban mech has 50 armor on its arms. No, I'm not gonna risk losing an FCS because I put it in an urban mech. But this is going to cost us 41 grand and 10 days to get it back in service. I don't know if that's worth it. I'm really feeling like it's not worth it, but... we're gonna go with it for now. I'm gonna go with it for now. Alright, let's get the Irby refitted as well, this other Irby. Weapon-wise, I'll put in the Mortar 4s, and again, the reason I'm doing that is specifically so that we can have a little more spread on our ammo, and give ourselves a little more variety. So, obviously, I want the acid ammo. I honestly want 2 tons of acid ammo, because acid is really good. I'll put in some Inferno ammo. I don't think we need flares. They illuminate the area, making attacks against flared targets easier. Wait, so does this work even in the daytime? Kemmel says, poor little trash can won't see the front lines anyway. This is correct, and that's exactly why I'm giving him mortars. Because they're not going to be able to keep up with the rest of our light lance. So I'm just going to give them mortars so that they can be useful. So, chat, does the flare work all the time, or does it only work at night? Because if it works all the time... yeah? I'm definitely into it. And Erst gifting a sub to Kemmel. Thank you, Erst, for the gifted sub. And Kemmel, welcome into the cult of bad tactical decisions. Literally put a single message in chat and has already been gifted a sub. So thank you, Erst, for the massive generosity and the massive chicken. And Kemmel, welcome into the cult, where we have only one flavor of Kool-Aid, but it is Ecto Cooler. The game has a night mode. I mean, there are definitely night missions, but I don't know if that actually means anything in game terms. You know what? I'm gonna try it and we'll see what happens. So I'll throw in a half a ton of flare ammo. Let me get the heat sinks and the jump jets in here, and then we'll see how much tonnage we have to play with after. Okay, we'll do that. Give me the jump jets. And then we'll max the armor, minus 1 pip on the rear. Let's see, weapons. We go with a medium laser and a small laser. And then we've got 1/2 ton left that we can fill in for ammo. Let's see, we did a ton of acid, a ton of Inferno, 1/2 ton of flare. I'm okay with a 1/2 ton of guided ammo as well. Although, ammo's supposed to go in the feet. But I don't have any more room in the feet. Throw it in the head. Sold. Oh, you laugh. You laugh, Grango, but here's the thing. I've said many times before that putting ammo in the head is the absolute best way to get the best performance out of your pilots. Because if they don't do well, they're going to have a very, very short ejection cycle. But there we go. That's going to give us some guided ammo, Inferno ammo, flare ammo for support, and acid ammo to help us burn the armor off of stuff. Again, seems like a lot of work and money to spend on an Irvin mech, but it is what it is.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
But again, we're still not going to be ready in time for the next mission, so we're just going to have to hope that things work out. If not, we might be in trouble. Let's see what the next mission's going to be. Let's see. Presenter Marshall assassinated. Word of Blake furious. Gibson, Word of Blake Protectorate. In shocking news today, the presenter Marshal of the Word of Blake Protectorate, Trent Arian, has been assassinated. The presenter Marshal was on his way to an annual memorial service commemorating the passing of Jerome Blake with his aide, Suzanne Mulvaney, Mulvaney? Did you put that R in there just to be different? Anyway, when his vehicle was destroyed by an assassin's bomb, initial investigation indicates that the bomb was planted by a Comguard insurgent with a grudge against the Precentor Marshal, though Comstar denies all involvement and has condemned the attack, saying in a statement that while Comstar and the Word of Blake have strong disagreements on interstellar policy, Comstar would never condone the assassination of Precentor Marshal. Stay tuned. I mean, of course they would never condone it, but it doesn't mean they wouldn't do it. This is Comstar we're talking about. This is fanfic stuff, so we're no. Okay, one day until the next mission. Oh, and it's a blackout mission. Gross. Gross. We have a mission from the Taurians, absent witness. Details will be provided about the blackout. Gross. I don't like blackout missions, chat. But we need the money. Let's see. Who are we up against? We're up against Davian. Alright. Oof. It's a 1.5 skull mission, chat. I don't think we can handle that. I mean, we're gonna take max salvage because we always take max salvage. But I don't think we can handle that. I mean, I'll put it like this. I'm certainly gonna be more judicious about retreating this time around. Take the money you need to. I mean, we need to take the money, but like if we take the salvage and we get good salvage, I can sell it. Whereas if I take the money and it turns out that there was a bunch of heavy mechs on the field, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, we could get engine cores and all kinds of other stuff. Like, 670k seems like a lot, but it depends on what we're up against. Like, if we fail the mission or I have to retreat, we're not going to get any money anyway. Right, that's what I'm saying, Urs. Like, taking the money doesn't matter if we have to retreat anyway. Because we're still not going to get anything. Like, if we don't accomplish the objective, we're not going to get any money, even if I take money. I mean, I could do half and half. But like I said, like, if we have to retreat, we still get nothing. So regardless of whether we take salvage or money, if we don't succeed, we still get nothing. Although I guess what Urs might be getting at is, if this is a mission where we could potentially retreat after accomplishing the objective, we could still get out with the money, even if we don't destroy all the enemies. I think I see what he's getting at. I'll do half and half. Because if we end up against a bunch of light mechs and there's not any heavy mechs, then we could potentially wipe the field. If we can manage to wipe the field, I still want to get some salvage. Go at least 4 if available. I mean, I could do 4, but then Blackout doesn't work like that. Wait, I'm confused. Blackout doesn't work like that, have to kill all. Oh, is this one of those missions where we have to destroy everything? I just remember I don't like Blackout. Because if I remember right, it's one of those missions where it's like, oh, go to this base, and then you go to the base, and the turrets attack you, and then it's like, go to this other base, and then a bunch of stuff shows up, and then the turrets attack you. It's like, it is... I just don't like it. I mean, we have to take it, because we need the money. But Blackout mission is basically an ambush, except you know it's going to be an ambush every time. I kind of want to just full salvage chat. It's... Look, I don't write the rules, okay? This isn't the cult of good financial decisions. This is the cult of fucking winner takes all. Sometimes the turrets help you. Yeah, sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't, though. I mean, again, remember, chat. We need about 600k. We've already got 500k. If I have to, I will sell every mech part and weapon in the fucking storage bay if I have to keep the lights on. Like, regardless, I will do what I have to do to keep the company running. So, if I have to sell a bunch of stuff to make that happen, I will. It's not the end of the world. It's only the end of the world if I choose not to sell anything. And Postal Trout gifting a sub to first time chatter Astro Boy. I see what you tried to do there. It reminds me of the titular character Ashtray from Ye Olden Hood movie. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking you juice in the hood. Any relation or just a coincidence? Oh, shit. My bad, chat. Losers cry about doing their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. Correct, Flashover. Correct. And I think we're gonna go home and fuck the prom queen because Carla was the prom queen. Alright, we gotta get CVEX out of here because they had a bad time. We could potentially put Ven in there instead. It looks like we've got just about everything else except for Wasteland, who also got blown up. But hey, wouldn't you know it, I happen to be in need of something to do, and also happen to be a vehicle pilot, so boom, there we go. It's not looking good, chat. We got 5 light mechs and an APC. We don't even have an additional pilot to run the battle armor, so... You always gotta say that in your worst Sean Connery. Look, Sierra, that was the best you're gonna get out of me. That's the best you're gonna get out of me. Again, it's not looking great, but we're just gonna have to go with it and see what happens. Why can I not deploy? Oh, that's why. Okay. No, stop it. Now can I deploy? For some reason, it's making me put stuff in these 2 slots. I don't really know why. Wish me luck, chat, because this is either going to be the smartest or the stupidest thing I've ever done. Darius isn't bitching about us being undertunned for the mission, but then again, we both know that Darius doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, even on a good day. So, I don't know if that actually matters. It's 1.5 stars. The game is rating our Lance at 2.5 stars. It was rating our Lance at like 4 stars on the last mission, though, when we got our asses handed to us. So, ratings don't mean shit. What's gonna matter is what we run into when we get on the field. That's all that's gonna matter. Are we gonna be dealing with a bunch of heavy mechs? Are we gonna be dealing with something we can actually handle? And we're not gonna know until we hit the field. No, I get it, Wasteland. I understand that the awesome is the reason that we were getting such a high rating. But the ratings still don't mean shit. Because why is it that a single awesome only counts as a single star and a half on a 1.5-star mission. Like, you would think that me bringing a fully kitted assault mech would basically max us out on a mission that was rated at 1 star or 1 skull. 2 Atlas and 5 Urbies. That would actually be a nightmare because all of those mechs would be extremely hard to bring down. I don't know why, but when the computer is using urban mechs, they're just fucking impossible to kill. They just will not die. What if the mech sends reinforcements based on your land skull rating? It didn't actually send reinforcements last time. Like, all the mechs that were there were on the ground when we landed. We just didn't see them right away because of fog of war and sensor range. Urbies are roaches? Kind of. Yeah, they're extremely hard to get rid of. Extremely hard to get rid of. Darius of the Pool, what is your wisdom on this ambush that's definitely not an ambush? Witness in protection, lost contact. I think we all know how this might turn out. Let's go in with our eyes open. I mean, there's a reason that I'm going in with an APC for scouting, Darius. I appreciate that you have recognized that the ambush mission might in fact include a part where we get ambushed.
Command interface initiated.
We may not be on Kittery, but don't think the Kittery borders will fight any less for it. Prepare yourself. Okay. Oh, lovely. Apparently this counts as a fog modifier, which means we're going to have even lower accuracy than we normally do. Good. Wait, what? Chatty. I assume you're seeing this, right? We literally spawned with an enemy APC in the middle of our formation. Do we normally walk into mech fights with our eyes closed? Thanks for the insightful tip, Darius. I mean... yeah, considering the tactics that we employ, I could see why he would think that we might be walking around with our eyes closed. I'm not gonna say there's not precedent for it, okay? Darius is an idiot. But to be fair, we hired him, so what does that say about us? I'm just saying. Let's see. Do we have sensor contact on anything else? I mean, we have some sensor contacts on turrets. Those turrets will probably try to attack us. But we currently have an APC, so I guess the first thing to do is to destroy the APC. Oh my good Lord Jesus. It's a 50-ton APC with a bunch of fucking missiles. Chad, I got a feeling this mission's gonna go poorly.
Standing by.
Just a hunch that I get.
What can I do for you?
Just a hunch that I'm getting, Chad. Let's kick, and we'll hit him with the MRMs.
Going toe to toe.
Okay, we hit him, but it did not remove all of his evasion. Which is essentially what I'm going for. Wait a minute. Okay, we got a mech out there. No idea what kind of mech, but again,
Skipper.
I'm sure we'll find out here in a minute. We're gonna do the same thing. We'll just continue to kick and hopefully bring this thing's spawn evasion down enough that we can actually kill it. No, he does have evasion turn 1. Basically, everybody gets 8 evasion on their first turn. It's called spawn protection, and it's probably the stupidest and most controversial mechanic in BTA. There are people that absolutely fucking hate that mechanic. I am one of them. I think it's stupid as fuck that you get that evasion protection because, like, if an enemy lance drops right in front of you because they're stupid, you shouldn't then, like, they don't just immediately get 8 evasion, like max evasion. It's stupid. The very first turn, yeah, okay, but counterpoint, what happens in situations like this?
Yes, Commander.
In a situation like this, like, what if it hadn't been an APC? What if it had been an Atlas? See, that's when spawn protection really fucks you. Because in this case, it was okay because it's an APC, which means we get a bonus to hit in melee against it anyway. Also, it's lighter than what we have. So we can kick it and it's good. However, if it had been an Atlas that just magically spawns with 8 evasion, even if we hit it, we wouldn't knock it down enough to be able to do any damage. So, like, that's why I don't like spawn protection, because the way that the game spawns stuff can sometimes be fucky like this. And sometimes that's okay, but sometimes it's not. Let's see. As for our friend over here, I have no idea what we're up against, so we got an ER medium laser. I mean, I guess we'll go this way. We don't have, I don't think anybody has sensor ping, or at least Mythion does not have sensor ping. I'm hoping that somebody that we haven't used yet will be able to sensor ping.
Yeah.
So that we can potentially ping this guy and try to figure out what's going on with
Piece
him.
of cake.
You should be getting the initiative, though, for that. If some rando wants the hot drop with an Atlas in for my quintuple Gus Annihilator, you better be ready to eat those 5 shots. No, I get that. I would be okay with people hot dropping and getting an initiative bonus. What I hate is that they get an evasion bonus. Because instead of you taking the initiative by using that hot drop, you're instead being forced to be defensive and to wait for the enemy to shoot at you and hope that they don't hit you. Like, the whole point of a hot drop is to take the initiative, but the way that BTA handles it is exactly the opposite. So you're not taking the initiative, you're immediately going on the defensive and relying on the evasion. And again, I could talk for a long time about why I don't like spawn protection as it's currently implemented,
Standing by.
but it's not my mod pack, so I don't actually get to decide, you know, what we do about that. I would do it differently. That's all I'll say. I'm not gonna say the best solution, I'm just gonna say, if it was me, I would do it differently. Oh no, it's absolutely the game, or the mod doing that, Grango. I mean, Dictator, I've said before, I'm actually mostly okay with the mechanics in BTA. Obviously, I would ditch the fanfiction because I don't like the fanfiction. But mechanically, there's not a whole lot that I would change. Spawn protection would absolutely be one of the things that I change, though. Alright, so we've got a vehicle. This mech moved pretty far, but we don't know
Yes, Commander.
exactly what we're up against. And I really want to get visual on the enemy. Do we have anybody at all that has a sensor ping?
Confirmed.
What's up, boss?
No.
Yes, Commander.
Erst and Vio also don't have A sense of ping? Okay.
Ready for orders.
So the only way that we're going to be able to figure out what we're fighting against is to get a confirmed visual.
On it.
Not ideal. Not ideal.
Receiving you.
So if I crest the hill, then Erst is going to be in sight of both of these mechs, and I don't know currently what we're dealing with in terms of mechs. So I'm not sure that I want to throw my light mech out there to get blasted. So we'll go around the
Consider me
back
there.
side here and see what we can do about this vehicle. All right, what do we got? Maxim Hover Transport. Okay. Again, lots of SRMs and some LRMs. That's doable. Use probe pings. I could. I mean, I don't... Oh, well, there we go.
Got a lock.
So hopefully that'll reduce his evasion. Although I don't know that we actually have any indirect fire that we'd be able to use against this vehicle.
Double time. Let's go.
But not knowing what we're dealing with in terms of mechs, I think I'm gonna fall back, at least for now. We'll use the terrain to our advantage.
Receiving you.
Can we get 7? No, we cannot get 7 evasion, so I'll go for 6 evasion instead.
Roger. Full speed.
I'm gonna let them come to me, because what I don't want to do is
hear ya.
advance into the range of the turrets and then have to deal with that.
Ready to rock.
Let's see.
Lifting off.
There we go. And then we'll brace.
Hot damn. Let's do this.
Alright, let's see what they're gonna do. Nothing. Alright.
Commander?
Do I really want to do it? I feel like I want to do it. Oh, it's doing that dumb thing again where I can't actually... Like, it says that I can melee it, but it's not gonna let me do it. Alright. I think we roll up here. And we hit this dude.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Okay, did we... Okay, we did get acid on him, which is good. We just gotta be careful about our sight
Yes,
lines.
Commander.
Because this dude is taking an elevated position, and this Maxim can absolutely act as a spotter. So we gotta be very, very careful about how we handle this. I'm gonna go turn the stealth off. That'll give us 4 evasion. And then we'll burn this homeboy down. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. They seem to be reserving down, and I'm not 100% sure why. It honestly makes me a little bit nervous.
Double time. Let's go.
Nope, we're not gonna be able to get a ping. Alright. We can dance if we want to. We can indeed.
What are your
Although,
orders?
I've already played Safety Dance for you once this month. You got what you're getting. Alright,
Waiting on you, Commander.
let's get Megas up here. Looks like the best he's gonna get is 6 evasion, but I can't get 6 evasion and be in a
Pedal to the metal.
forest, so... We'll just have to hope that the Jenner doesn't take any hits. Alright, what are you gonna do? Nothing? Okay.
Orders.
I can crest the hill. I'm actually okay with doing it in the APC, because the APC can take some hits.
Affirmative.
Alright, what do we got? Holy shit, chat. I don't know if we can handle this. I don't know if we can handle this, chat.
Firing on target.
Oh. He's taking the high ground. But thankfully, the AMS is out here doing some work.
Let's hit him hard.
Okay, he decided he didn't want any. What was that? I can't... What the hell is that? Chat, what is Junior? I've never heard of Junior. What is a Junior? And why do I feel like I'm being insulted? And Game Master Hub, the man, the myth, the legend himself showing up in the chat on a Sunday. Good to see you, Game Master. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully the weekend has been treating you well so far. A jumped up battle armor? I mean, it's a 10-ton mech. Chat, I feel like the game is insulting me right now. I take fucking max salvage on a 1-skull mission. We end up fighting against 3 heavies and get half our lance destroyed. I take max salvage on a 1.5 skull mission, afraid that I'm gonna get my ass handed to me again. And so far, I've seen a fucking spider and some 10-ton ultralight that I've literally never heard of before. Oak says 30% of that mech is medium laser. Yeah, exactly. The mech is 10 tons. A medium laser is 1 ton. Literally, 30% of this mech's weight is the 3 medium lasers that it's carrying.
Commander?
Again, I feel like the game is insulting me right now. Yeah? 4 evasion. Can I ping? He's not in ping range. Well, I mean, it's all laser weapons, so it doesn't really hurt us to shoot them.
Locking in all weapon systems.
I can't imagine that a 10-ton mech has a great deal of armor. Hey, fuck you with a rake, buddy. How about that? You fucking asshole.
I hear ya.
Alright. I mean, we've got line of sight. I was gonna say, there's basically 0 chance that we hit, but I have a lot of ammo. I'm gonna use it.
Firing everything I've got.
Maybe we get lucky. Hey, we got 1 hit.
Yup.
4 damage on a 10-ton mech has got to hurt at least a little bit. You know what?
You got it.
I'll go ahead and keep the stealth on for this because, like I say, I don't think we're gonna have many lasers that'll be able to hit at that range. So if you recall, is that a flamer on a spider? Yes, it is in fact a flamer on a spider. Which seems like an oxymoron, because normally fire is what you use against the spider, not on a spider. Do you play with friendly fire on? Yes, I have 100% friendly fire, so it does as much damage to friendlies as it would to enemies. Chad, do we DFA? With that kind of damage, no, we don't DFA. What I will do, though, is this. Excuse fucking me? Would you like to tell me why it is that my mech, which can clearly see this fucking vehicle, cannot hit this vehicle? Depressing depression? It's a mech. It has a hip joint. Don't give me that depression bullshit. Okay, fine. That's on me. I should have paid closer
David.
attention. That's on me. Okay, there we go. We busted through.
Solid connection on that one.
As long as we can get one more good volley on the rear armor, that thing is toast.
Standing by.
In the meantime,
Copy that.
let us continue to burn these motherfuckers to the ground.
On it.
There's another armor punch through. You love to see it. Sucks to suck.
It's go time. Ready for orders.
Let me see. I tell you what.
Confirmed.
I want the Ben Richards first. We'll kill the stealth. And... hold on. This thing's all... Chat, the 10-ton ultralight has literally got more firepower than the spider. I don't know how I feel about that.
I got you. Fun time.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Critical hit.